Okay, hello, and good morning, or afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. This is Soren from Grind and Align Yoga. We're going to be doing a quick little 15-minute ditty today. So we're going to work on getting some energy flowing through our bodies while focusing on feeling grounded and secure and stable. And Rosie is going to be joining us today. So if you want to just start by getting in a nice, comfortable seated position. Thank you, Posy. So good. We'll allow ourselves to just kind of tune in, tap in, drop into this moment as you begin to let go of anything that's happened before this practice and anything that's going on after. Really just begin to focus on your breathing here. Noticing how it's showing up just as it is, not trying to change it or alter it in any way. You can choose to close your eyes here if it feels more comfortable to you. Allow yourselves to let go of anything that's not serving you physically and emotionally. So if you notice you're clenching your jaw here, begin to relax that. Let go of your tongue and let those shoulders ease away from your ears. Notice if you're clenching your feet or your hands, and begin to really let go of them. And as you begin to pause and focus on your breath, you can really begin to form an intention for your practice, whatever that might be for you. And you can gently begin to open your eyes if they're closed. And we will begin to bring our soles of the feet together here in Baddha Konasana, or cobbler's pose. And while we're in this pose, we're really going to focus on opening up the hips and stretching through them. So you can imagine creating a space between the joint. So opening up that joint, creating a nice large space here. And if that means kind of going a little bit deeper, maybe bringing the heels of the feet closer to the groin area, you can do that. If you need to just allow that to be away. Rosie, what are you doing? Knock it off. Sorry, guys. Freaking out. She really just wants the pillows. I don't know what's going on. So you can have the large space or not. Really, whatever feels good for your hips. If they're very open, naturally or not, this is just up to your body here. And really try to let go of any ego that's coming through, trying to change or alter this position. If it feels good, stay there. Unless you're feeling something suddenly sharp, hot, or painful, then slowly bring yourself out of the pose. So from here, we're going to stay in the cobbler's pose, but we're going to inhale forward and exhale backwards. So you're inhaling, coming forward, exhaling, going backwards. And as you go backwards, really try to ground down through those sits bones. So through those little butt bones, the bony bits that are where you're sitting on. Just really try to ground down, because otherwise you might lift up and it just might mess with the integrity of the pose. So you can hold on to your toes here. You can hold on to your ankles. Just the most important part is just inhaling forward and exhaling back, so you're getting that mind-body connection here. And once you've done a few circles, whatever direction you're going, begin to reverse that direction. Rosie, get away from that. So you can continue with inhaling forward and exhaling back. You just are reversing the circle now. So we're really focusing on getting our energy up. So if that means inhaling forward and exhaling down, as you really ground down through those sits bones so you don't come up. And then we'll find some stillness and just recognize the energy in the body. Notice if you're feeling a little bit more energized, if you're feeling more tired, just notice it. Let it go ultimately. And then we will bring ourselves back into a nice comfortable position. If you want to try out half lotus or full lotus, depending on your comfortability with trying different challenging asanas or poses, you can bring one of your legs on top and you can just hang out here. If you want to try full lotus, it's a little bit more challenging. You're going to bring both of your legs up and it'll look sort of like that. So that tends to be uncomfortable if you're staying there for an extended period of time, but if that's something that you want to explore, go for it now. I'll give you a few seconds to figure out what feels good for you while you're here. So we're going to either be chilling in a half lotus, which would just be bringing that foot up towards that hip crease area, or as far as I can go. And we'll begin to find nice cactus arms here. So finding those field goal poster cactus arms as we inhale over to the left, exhale to the right. So we're keeping up with feeling that energy. Inhaling and exhaling, we're focusing on that mind-body connection, that one thing that we really have control over. And noticing where you can implement this in your daily life. So are there things that you can be doing that you really are focusing on your breathing where you're not? For example, if you're in a meeting or something and you have an opportunity to inhale and exhale and focus on those inhales and exhales, I challenge you to do that today. So become more mindful of the breath, more mindful of that beautiful oxygen that's coming in and that carbon dioxide that's coming out, really just allowing that to fill your body with energy. And then we'll slowly begin to come back to center, slowing down the arms. We'll bring the hands down to the knees. And once again, just take a breath here and notice the energy that is going through your body. And don't try to think too much of it. If you don't feel anything, you don't feel anything, and that's okay. And so from here, you can unravel and come back into that nice seated position, that easy pose as we call it, and just begin to inhale and crawl your hands forward. So you're really, really reaching here. And if you can't tell, like my hands are inching. So you're really, really staying nice and active through those arms. You can drop your your neck and your forehead here and allow that to just surrender towards the earth as you feel that nice, juicy stretch between your shoulder blades. And after a few breaths here, as you get used to this feeling, and make sure that you are not coming up off your sits bones. So make sure that you're staying grounded during this. Don't try to overextend yourself at all. You're reaching, and then as you inhale, you're going to walk over to one direction. It doesn't matter which. We'll go both sides here. Getting a nice side body stretch. And then slowly begin to exhale. And then on the next inhale, go over to the opposite side and stretch out on this side. Good. And then inhale, come back to center. And then slowly walk your hands forward. Good. Now from here, we're going to come onto our hands and our knees. We're going to find that nice tabletop position. And once again, we're really going to focus on the bone stacking here. So we're making sure that those knees and the hips are nice and aligned, nice and on top of each other. Your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders are also nice and aligned. And instead of just dropping that back like so, you're going to inhale and allow that belly button to come up towards your backbone so you're really staying active through your belly. You're keeping those belly muscles nice and active here. So while you stay here and just begin to notice what this position is kind of asking you to notice today. So are you noticing your wrists and your elbows are sort of like cranky? Just take a second to notice that. And then you're going to walk your hands out a little farther. And as you walk them a little bit farther, you are going to inhale, drop the belly down, and exhale the bottom back. So you're creating these nice, because she's freaking out, and that's just not okay. Go. So inhale, dropping that down. Inhale, drop. So you're staying nice and active through your arms too. So you're dropping down and you're kind of finding the chaturanga arms. So when I say chaturanga arms, I mean you're bending your elbows down and you're bringing that kind of motion here. So usually you do that when you're in a plank, but you're creating that active arms. You're creating an opportunity to involve your arm muscles. And then wherever you are, just reverse your circle. Continuing to stay nice and active through the arms and the legs. And if you notice like little kinks, you can go back and forward. You can kind of explore things here. And then we will bring ourselves back to that tabletop position. And then from your tabletop position, we will come to bring our bottom on our heels. And we will stand. So as we stand here, we're going to inhale our arms up and overhead. Exhale, bend the knees and bring the belly to the tops of the thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release it down. Good. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, sprinkle those fingers down, bending the knees, melting the tummy onto your thighs. Inhaling, halfway lift, and exhale, come down. Now when you come down, we're going to find a yogi squat. So all that means is you're going to find a nice wide stance here. You're going to bring your hands together in a nice prayer position. And you're really going to be engaging those knees and the elbows at the same time. So you have this kind of push-pull notion going on. You're staying nice and tall through the crown of your head, and you're grounding down through those sits bones. And allow all that energy that you've created to just sort of simmer down. Letting all that go. So you allow those hands to come behind you, and you can bring yourself into a nice, comfortable laying down position. So I'm going to have a somewhat more extended cool down and relaxing period for this video. So what I'm going to have you do is just lie down. If you have that option, you're going to begin to allow your ankles and your feet to relax, letting go of any tension that you're holding in your calves and in your shins, letting go of any tension you're holding in your knees, relaxing the tops of your thighs and allowing it to just drip down towards the backs of your thighs. As you notice the spaciousness in your hip joints, as you let go of any pain or discomfort you're holding in your groin or your pelvic region, begin to really notice the ebb and flow and rise and fall of your abdomen on each and every breath that you take. Allowing the vertebrae to relax into the floor, noticing the spaces between each one. Allowing your shoulders to relax and letting your arms drip down with that relaxation as it fills up your elbows and it fills up your forearms. Relaxing your fingers, letting go of the tension in your wrists and your hands. As you let the jaw go, as you let the tongue fall into a relaxed position, and as you allow that little space between your eyebrows to relax, letting the base of your skull really sink deep into the mat beneath you. Continuing to notice your breath as you allow the inhales and exhales to serve as a positive distraction from any thoughts that might be coming through. Allowing yourself to feel stable, secure, and safe while you're in this Shavasana. Knowing that this feeling is not permanent to the mat, that it's something that you can take with you throughout your day. You can apply these breathing techniques and the idea of allowing the mind and body to be in unison throughout your day. And whenever you're ready, you can roll over to whichever side is more comfortable for you, pausing for about 2 to 3 breaths as you gently straighten up through the elbow and push yourself up into a nice comfortable seat. And once you've arrived at that position, I will allow you to come into a nice comfortable seat and May the rest of your day bring nothing but clear and loving relationships, clear and loving communication, and clear and loving thoughts. And as we bow down, we say, Namaste.